Hi, I'm a bunny. Welcome to Slay the Princess. Quick note. This is a horror game. It may be beautiful and heartfelt and amazing. Spoiler alert, I really liked this one. But it is also in parts deeply terrifying and sometimes kind of gory and body horror-y. I would really hate for you to be surprised. Also, this is a recording of a live playthrough. In fact, I recorded this like 30 seconds after I ended stream, and therefore it may contain trace elements of live stream activities. I split this into two parts. This is part number 1. Good luck. Let's go slay a princess. How hard could it be?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So I can explore a little bit here. Oh, I actually have a lot of options. Oh, wow. Okay, they're behind me. So I didn't realize they were going to be behind me. So I might either shrink myself down a little bit smaller so you can read them, or I'll read out the options that I feel like choosing here. So, the end of the world, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it.
Hello, Enderdog.
Birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Thank you, narrator. That answers none of my questions. An arc, the agony, you're missing 4 bubble frogs, some caves, meaning you're missing 4 caves. No idea where they on the maps tend to say you got them all. I have no idea. Are they hiding in the caves? So, how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics.
Thank you all so much for the hop train.
You
I
have
really
a job
appreciate
to
it.
do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done.
We're all counting on you. Okay. Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
And how are we doing volume-wise? Is the narrator audio pretty clear? I was worried it might be a little quiet, but I was trying not to make it too loud too.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous.
Awesome. Thanks, you too.
She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end. There is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
We'll see how that one goes. So, killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Fair enough. Can someone else do this?
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far. But unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
And you are the narrator. I feel like narrators kind of make the rules. Alright, before my levels make sense too, because when I talk, everything else gets very subtly quieter secretly. Because I secretly am very quiet when I speak to you, so I'm cranking my own volume. Hey Leia, it's good to see you. I will totally slay. I'm also illiterate regarding the letter S. We'll have to find out on that one, I suppose. I know, Corvus. It was pretty cute. We will not guillotine a seamstress. Note to self. Note to self. The dark, depressing game. I don't know if it's dark or... Well, I mean, I know it's dark. I don't know if it's depressing, but it is certainly a rather dramatic game. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
Or do they? Oh! Thank you for that, Red. Thank you for that, Red.
I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
So far we're walking up a path interrogating the narrator. Do I get some kind of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Shout out to nihilists. To slay her before you get the reward. Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Ooh, so fancy. Oh my gosh, there are so many options here. So many options. I'm gonna say forget this. I'm not doing it.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her. But I'm not committing to anything until I've had the chance to meet her face to face.
I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Understandable.
And each and every one of us is doomed.
Ooh.
So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
I do quite like the
You make
narrator.
your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Oh, the voice of the hero.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
My only option is proceed into the cabin. It's really well done voice acting.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Ooh.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
So I can take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement. Though now my curse has turned into a knife.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood.
Ooh.
If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Stop, hang on one moment. Hey, Chief Admiral, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well today. You've seen a lying scumbag narrator before. You wouldn't trust this guy with a 9.5-inch pole. Understandable, understandable. Well, and I guess funny that they haven't specified a gender for the hero yet, but I guess the voice actor has a typically masculine tone.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Oh, alright, I totally missed that, yeah.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Sure.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
I think I'm gonna make the voices just a little bit louder than the music. Go up to here.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay you.
That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife, and maybe the two of us can talk things out.
Mm-hmm.
She's right, we shouldn't. We should just drop the blade. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
I think I'm going to tighten my grip on the blade, to be honest.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Ooh, I like how she's not like feigning innocence or anything immediately. I definitely expected them to go for, because the trailers show it, right? A little bit more pleading early on.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
So I can say, what if she isn't bluffing? Are you sure she's not armed? Sorry, can we just talk? I'm not dropping the blade. Drop the blade or slay the princess. I'm gonna try talking first. Can we just talk?
You're so close. Don't give up. You've come this far.
It's very questionable indeed. Yo, Dorktails. Aw, thank you so much for 21 months. Holy Christ, Dorktails. It's really nice to see y'all. Hope you're doing well today. Dun, 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 dun. Mr. Dorktails, heads up. This is a very, very scary game. I think you might like it, though. And hey, Ashton, how you doing today? It's good to see you. So, Link, you're wondering who chained her up and why they didn't kill her, nor how she hasn't died from dehydration or starvation yet. Those are extremely valid questions that I would anticipate the hero would ask, however.
No, this is a good idea. Maybe we can de-escalate things.
Maybe we can.
Oh, threatened are we? You poor thing. Drop the knife, and of course we can talk.
I don't think I'm going to drop the knife. Yeah, I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
You know what? That's valid. I can squint at the princess while holding on to the blade. I could say we're at an impasse. I'm going to squint at the princess while holding on to the blade.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
Almost certainly, yes. Squint at the princess even harder.
You squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
This is really quite cute. I want to continue the squint down and see. Oh, I can't. I can either drop the blade or slay the princess. All right, I do think it's worth talking because I don't quite trust the narrator here yet. Oh yes, just you wait for Nan.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
That does feel like it was against my better judgment, yes.
We'll be fine.
Who knows, Leia? Are you an evil princess? Hey, Coralon.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish
They
here,
are very
but
big
I can assure
eyes.
you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
Just getting some more coffee.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Oh, really? I can say a relationship. Are you coming on to me? It's pretty awkward to me here because you're supposed to end the world. So people that think you're going to end the world, what do you have to say to that? What's your name? Feels like a good first question here.
She hesitates before answering.
It seems like a meat cute. Perhaps a different spelling of meat as well.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Mm-hmm.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
So there's people out there who think you're going to end the world. What do you have to say about that?
Don't just tell her that.
It's too late, narrator.
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster?
I mean, yeah.
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
So what are you going to do if I let you out of here?
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful.
Oh?
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
I do like the inclusion of each other.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
Wait, the voice of the hero is talking to me specifically too? Interesting.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
Brad, you might be right.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
These are very good questions.
This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
That's actually a very good point, Layden. We don't. So how long have you been down here?
Too long.
Are you coming on to
Don't
me?
jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Yeah, Link, exactly. How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
Hmm?
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade.
What, do you want me to cut your arm off?
She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Okay, we've talked enough.
Have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
This is why you fall into the mimic trap. So no. We're locked away down here, at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do. Keep her locked away. I could try to slay her, or I could say I'm getting you out of here. This is a very tough choice here. You know what? You know what? We're gonna rescue the princess. I'm getting you out of here.
You have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
So if there isn't a key, do you have any ideas besides me cutting you out of here?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
Really? That's a
She
sentence.
speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free.
Concerned beeping sounds.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top
Oh,
of the
that's a
stairs
good point,
slams
actually.
shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Oh.
Is someone else here?
I'm gonna try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
I guess I'm returning to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
Very
I
much
heard the
so,
door
Link.
slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Welcome, Neofox. It's good to see you. Heads up, this may be a very scary game in a moment.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
That feels very likely, yes. Do I save the princess? Do I slay the princess? I'm gonna try to save the princess. We'll see what happens.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain.
Gosh, that face. Wait, look at my arms. Am I a kobold? I've got little fingernails and claws. I think I'm a little kobold hero. Aww. Who's a good little kobold? Is me, maybe. And hello, little gay ghost. I hope you're doing well today. It's good to see you.
Cut into her flesh.
Ooh.
The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it.
Oh,
Before long,
gosh.
you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet.
Well. Yup. That is a look.
She didn't so much as utter a sound.
Very interesting, that hero. Oh, could be Fornan.
Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
Great.
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Notably, yes.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Hey, at least she said let's. At least she said let's. She didn't just say, I'm getting out of here. I can approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Oh, we're not in full control of our facilities here.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Oh, wow. My options are slay the princess, warn her. I have a warn her in here. And a bunch more slay the princesses. I'm going to try to warn her.
Stop that.
The narrator just says, stop
I
that.
thought this was a little too easy.
Oh, I'm a little bit concerned that the font changed here. I really love the consistency on the cursor too. It's got a little bit of like blood on the blade now.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect.
Oh no.
Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
I can try to resist or I can slay the princess. I'm gonna try to resist
The
here.
blade. Move the blade.
Her expression changed.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
Oh no. Oh no. Big heads up, y'all. I think things are about to go off the rails here.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hand.
Oh no. Oh no.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
I'm just a kobold. I don't understand quantum physics.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
It was not, narrator. It was not. Oh, chapter 2. Oh. The prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Dun, 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 dun. Right, Echo, exactly. Maybe she would have been chill. I don't have the most faith that she would have been chill. She probably was gonna eat me, but like, you know. Yeah, exactly, Nerd Detective, 100%. And, ooh, yeah, Corvus. I can say I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Really, narrator, really?
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around.
Oh.
I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying.
Voice of the skeptic now instead.
I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
I can say this is more than just deja vu, though. I'm pretty sure this whole thing really just happened.
We could go back and forth on this for a while, and I don't get any closer to doing your job at the same time.
Oh, Sophix, thank you so much for giving me such a test sabbatical and Tequila Smart Attack. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's really, really sweet of you. Voices is interested by idea of Tulpa/Altars arguing. Oh yeah, it really could be. Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving.
You might be right, nerd.
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. The absolute irony. That's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting.
I do like that I'm being included here.
But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all.
A professional narrator.
Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? Or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts.
Which seem rather round. Gonna proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Who knows, Link?
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't.
Wink.
Wink.
I too love to say wink out loud.
Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Yeah, this was not stony last time. It was like a cozy wooden cabin, which it still appeared to be from the outside, but inside is much more, dungeony. Hello, Professor Dr. Mikavani. Heads up, scary game. Very scary game today. Hi, Sniper.
The blade is
How are you
your
doing today,
implement.
Mika?
You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Say anything about the mirror on the wall, so we'll cap it for the last time. I think I'm just straight up going to approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see.
There is clearly a mirror.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Wipe the mirror clean.
Reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
We do seem to still be a kobold. So this whole cabin is different than last time.
Very different.
I'm doing pretty well. I've been very excited for this game. It's nice to hop into it and get spooked on. We've
Yes,
died
but
once
why?
already.
Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely. Now isn't that a novel thought?
And hey, Modbeans, through the
Maybe you
technology
haven't
of doing
actually
a
been
shout
here
out
before.
for some of the
I
rad
hope
folks
this means
here,
you'll
like
finally drop
perhaps
your
the Professor
ridiculous
Dr.
past
Mika
life
Bunny.
nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Narrator, it was your fault the princess killed us, though.
So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details.
I guess I'll take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
I'm going to enter the basement. I wonder if the princess will remember us.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone
So is this a
staircase.
perception morphing field, our mental
A few
state going in
sputtering
shifts
torches
what
attempt
we
to vaguely
see?
illuminate
I'm
your
curious
path,
about that
dancing
too.
across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour.
I wonder if we're sort of controlling the outside environment based on our mental state, or if something else is interpreting that. Because the narrator appears to, maybe be us.
Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Now, does she remember us?
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
I see, Professor Doctor. An unreliable narrator. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, and getting the different font is quite interesting. So I wonder if the font.
You walk down the stairs and lock
different
eyes
princess.
with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
Pizza delivery for one, Mrs. U horror. Are you a universal horror? So you're half hoping that for all the duplicity, the narrator is actually correct and the whole game is fake and the best ending comes from just doing the job. I feel like it probably is. But I also anticipate attempting to just do the job will not go well either. Red, you're a gremlin.
So much for cutting her out of here.
Which is what we tried to do last time. Although, going by last time, she might be fine if we cut her head off. So.
Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
That is a good thing to point out, Skeptic, because last time she was chained by one chain and there was still an empty chain there.
That was there last time too, wasn't it?
Thanks, Zero. I don't think that I did the sniper, but we'll find out.
It was.
It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Vol, thank you very much for the scoofles. So I'm not sure I need to do much of anything. Do you see how locked up she is? I'm just going to leave her here. Leave the princess in the basement. I can just be like, oh, I'll see you later. I'm going to sit with her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That does not look like a very secure shackle.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
I will sit where I was told
You do
to
as
sit.
she asks,
Fine.
and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that? What happened after I died last time? What other chain on the wall? Who is it for? Can I ask what happened after I died last time?
Oh, are we talking about that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But sure, I'll fill you in. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows? It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how. I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly?
Although I guess for her, I'm not sure if
Ideally,
it
this was
restarted or
supposed to be one and
continued.
done, You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
Now hold on, if you knew this could happen, why didn't you believe us back in the woods? Why lay out all those hypotheticals? We didn't have to talk in circles.
I needed you to believe this was your first time here, even if that wasn't the truth. I hoped if I pushed back hard enough I could cram this seeping mess back into the bottle. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't.
No, poor narrator.
I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky.
She must be
don't
so
waste
confused
that
about us
luck by
having this
messing it up again.
significant internal
All right?
conversation here. I'm gonna snooze these ads for a little bit here. We will have to do an ad break in time, but not yet.
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
Don't worry about it, Sniper.
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much.
How dare you bonk me?
Your success hinges on you having imperfect
The princess
information.
stares intently at
For
the
the sake of
reptilian
the
dope sitting
entire
and staring
world,
into space.
you need to accept that.
Success hinges on me having imperfect information.
I won't.
Fair enough.
Fine. But you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
So you were asking about my intentions earlier. What did you mean by that? The other chain on the wall, who is it for? You know what? I'm curious about the other chain. Who is it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on.
I think I'm good.
Maybe it'll fit.
That's a good face, though.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Yeah, absolutely, Latent. So I can see you were asking about my intentions earlier. What did you mean by that?
Yes, your intentions. You
Corva.
have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here?
Hi, Shion. It's good to see you.
There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, and I don't see any keys in your hands either. So I'm afraid my only way out is another surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
Guillotine's ineffective against this particular monarch. The princess asked nicely. It's the least I could do is, what, to bind myself in chains?
You're right.
Unfortunately, I don't quite
Maybe
think that
she's
works
delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
How am I supposed to cut you out if you didn't notice your head is in a shackle too?
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Kind of want to
Well,
see
she
that
isn't
too.
Whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling
Well, I
out
think she
our
knows why
options
we're
listing the
here, but she
pros
doesn't
and
quite know our
cons.
intentions. Because last time we tried to let her go, right?
Let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the Cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
I quite like the narrator.
Pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
So I can say you realize that I have as much reason to distrust you as you have to distrust me, right? I could say I'm not giving you a weapon in case you've forgotten you killed me with it last time. I can cut you out of here and not giving you the weapon, or I can say I'm trusting you and give her the knife. If you want to leave, I'm going to be the one with the weapon, deal with it, cut her on your own. I think I'm just going to leave you here. Actually, you're not much of a threat to anyone locked up like that. Bye! Or I could simply slay the princess. I think I'm going to keep talking for a little bit here. I'll say that we've got equal reasons to distrust each other.
I do. So I guess this all comes down to which of us caves first. And it's not going to be me. I'm extremely patient.
No, Detective, I
Probably
quite like
better
your
if we take
conundrum
action
too.
anyway. No use trying to wait her out. That's playing to her strengths.
We're ad snoozing. We're ad snoozing still. I could say, you killed me with it last time.
But sure, let's talk about what happened. Because what happened is exactly my issue. The last time we met, your body tried to kill me. If you take a moment to imagine yourself in my position, I think you'll understand why letting you near me with that thing is untenable. So, be a good bird and hand it over. And if being nice isn't enough motivation, well, I think you're aware that I'm not afraid to resort to violence. If you come near me with that thing, I will strangle you with these chains.
She doesn't beat around the bush, does she? Yes, it's almost like she's a fundamentally bad person who wishes to inflict pain on others.
Or it's another bluff.
No hard feelings, of course. But you should be aware of my position.
So if you don't give up now, then I have no choice but to slay you.
That attitude is exactly why I don't trust you to get close while you're holding a knife. If that's unacceptable to you, then try me. See what happens.
I am curious. I am very curious what happens if I
She
try.
sure was quick to threaten you, wasn't she? Stop hesitating already. You know you can't trust
I don't think
her.
I will succeed.
Both of them are using the same argument. It's not making it any easier to pick a side.
I think I might actually inspect the shackle too, because I'm curious about it. I do wonder if the narrator was in the shackles before.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
That is unfortunately true.
What if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
Going to inspect the shackle.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
Oh no, narrator.
What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it
Hi,
bad?
Harley. How are you doing?
Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
She did. We got pretty close while holding the knife.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
Well, that's not ideal.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement. Excuse me?
Yes? Are we stuck here now?
I did just get the achievement, Prison of the Mind, become your own jailer.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
I'm gonna ask if she knew that this was going to happen.
No.
What should we do?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
So we're both stuck
Yep.
here. Yep. Not one for small talk,
Nope.
are you? Nope.
That's rude.
Wait in
You and the
silence.
princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything.
That'd be really funny, Ladens. No, unfortunately, I can't click onto the knife.
But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
That's a very good question.
It just does.
It's certainly interesting, Caffrey.
But
Your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again.
I really love the
Let me
narrator.
guess, the cabin remains the same.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
Currently, I believe, including myself, we're up to 4. Hey, have you noticed the basement's changing?
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude.
Continue to wait in silence.
You
Twiddling my
continue to
thumbs.
wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
Oh. So she gets
That
out
doesn't
this
make
way.
sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then... And...
I think he's gone.
Oh.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
Could be inner detective, or it could be intrinsic to both of us.
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Oh. She was just grabbed by hands. Unfortunately, it's around my neck, Kefri. Although we did that last time. We cut her arm off and she seemed pretty chill about it. But you don't get the chance to respond. Something has taken her away and it's left something else in her stead.
She's gone.
There's the
Where
mirror.
did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
So I can say I don't know where she went and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her. The narrator is gone. I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
Something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
The
It is.
narrator is gone.
Does that mean the world ended?
It must have. Do any of us know what the world ending is supposed to look like?
I don't know where she went and I don't know how we'd even go about looking
If
for
there's
her.
even a her to find anymore.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. I'm
Approach
begging
the
you,
mirror,
Don't do this.
says the hero. The mirror never scared you
It's
before.
different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
Maybe the princess or the princess we made along the way. Maybe we are the princess. I have no idea. I don't think so, though. You approach the mirror, gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. Oh, it's us. It's you. We're, perhaps a little bit spoopy. Turned into the princess to destroy the world. That would be pretty interesting. And I'm doing pretty well, Beats. We're playing a real spooky indie game today. You're alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Oh dear, we might not actually get to the end of this particular run before we have to do an ad break. Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
The gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes. Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. Perspectives to make my own. This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart.
I love you.
Any longer.
Do not mourn her to be longer. What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Exactly, Mika. Solitary lights? What do you mean?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish.
Hey,
to be one.
Cybersmith. I'm a person.
A person. A set of eyes witnessing from one perspective. I think that you are more like me than you are like a person.
I kind of think so too. And also, heads up, y'all, we are about to have ads. I'm going to try not to progress too much during the ad break here. I don't want anyone to miss out. So we might just be hanging out and chatting for a couple of minutes. But I might see if I can get us to a less spooky zone before they begin.
We are ocean, reduced to shallow.
Trans rights. So is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
A valid question. Are you what sent me to slay the princess, or are you what trapped me here? Oh, it looks like ads are up, so I am gonna wait here for a couple of minutes, do a little bit of a stretch, wibble around, gaze at the spooky circumstance behind me. and do a little bit of theory crafting on what is happening. Because like I said, I don't want anyone who is receiving ads to miss out. So I will not be progressing the game for the next 2 whole minutes here. But make sure you're also stretching. This is a really good self-care check-in time. You are important. There is only one of you. And I hope that you are like getting all of the love, care, food, and snacks that you need. If not, you could take these 2 minutes to go and get snacks. And maybe give yourself a little smooch on the forehead if you've got the technology and are some kind of terrifying Lovecraftian hack princess. Yeah. Meow, 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 meow. But this has been really, really neat so far. I kind of knew it was going to be. I've been keeping an eye on this for a few months now. And it was very much one of those. You know, I need to play this game when it comes to that time. So it just released yesterday. I've been having so much fun with it. It's always challenging, I find, when I have a game I'm really excited to stream, but I'm also really excited to play. Because I just sat there staring at this yesterday going like, well, okay, if I just play it a little bit, is that really bad? But I resisted. Instead, I played Nebulous Fleet Command for a bunch of my day off yesterday, which was pretty nice, actually. It's a monster we can use ad breaks to bully the bunny. I mean, only within safety and reason. I've also been encouraging folks to support medical aid for Palestinians this, I guess, last couple of weeks now, considering stuff is still ongoing. So that's an option too. We got informations on that as well. If I do ! Charity, it should pop on up. Yeah. Oh, I totally do, Andrew. There are some games that I don't stream. I'm also going to zoom in so y'all can hit me in the face with stickers directly. Y'all ready? Zoom. There we go. Trans right stickers to the face. But I guess for a game that I'm really excited to stream, I'm usually pretty hesitant to play that one off stream. Sometimes I do. I'm probably going to be, oh no, I've been murdered. How could this happen? It was the princess, wasn't it? Are you the princess, chat? You have to tell me. For the princess. But I guess there are some games that I'm playing off stream as well. Like I'm starting another run in Baldur's Gate, catching up to where we're at and making some different decisions. And I might continue the streamed version again once I play it for an hour to catch up to where we crashed. We shall see. Guillotining the princess. I see how it is. Well. I'm gonna add some more coffee as well. And all right, in 20 seconds, ads should be done. Thank you for your patience with that ad. I do, to be honest, I kind of enjoy the like obligated breaks every hour or so. It's nice. It's a good reminder to like stretch and check your posture and check in on how folks are doing. So also, I totally and absolutely neglected to do any theory crafting over that break about what we are. But I think that we are something like her that is being like kept alive for some strange reason, and that our stories are inextricably linked. Yeah. I got wrecked, Caffrey. I got totally wrecked. And Cybersmith, chicken butt. Okay, I'm gonna get a last sip of water here, and then we shall continue. So I didn't move at all in the last 3 minutes. So those of you who received ads have missed nothing whatsoever. The last thing that we did was ask if the world had ended already. So I think that I'm going to say, let her out of there.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me.
Oh my gosh, Cybersmith, that's amazing, actually. Holy cripes.
I promise that it doesn't hurt.
So are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Hi, Dorktails. Don't worry about it. The world has perhaps ended. And so far, it's definitely much more psychological horror than physical horror. I did see a trailer where in the first person you were being stabbed to death, which is why I really wanted to provide a like significant horror warning, because there are definitely some ways that it goes a little bit more scary. Hey, Plastic Age, it's good to see you. Biblically accurate princess. Yes, yes. Do you know about the worlds beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
All right, are you the thing that ends the world? But were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
A valid question, I suppose. Do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
So I can say what happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them.
Interesting.
There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
She's scared that I'll find a way to kill you. How much will I forget? How many more pieces of you do I have to find? What if I don't let you do this to me? I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
That is notably not a no. You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
So what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
Valid, I suppose. How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
I'm excited for World Below. Also, hang on. While I'm between clicking on various things here too, did you know that I'm also very often present over on another Twitch channel called twitch.tv/dorktales, where Mr. Dorktales, and also sometimes other folks, but mostly Mr. Dorktales, runs really rad tabletop games. They're a cool and inclusive channel. They play a whole variety of games, including D&D and other non-D&D stuff, and they're really rad. Yeah. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. I recommend them so much that you can find me over there. How much will I forget?
Everything. Until
I'm
we
so
meet
excited to join too. The world below seems so cool. Until we meet again. Okay, make me
again.
forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You won't. I am indeed going to be a rat person. Everything goes dark and you die. Chapter 1. We were in chapter 2 before. Now we're in chapter 1. All
You're
right.
on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
I did just get the achievement.
the
The real
basement of
Slay the
that
Princess
cabin
starts here.
Is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So are we actually back here at the beginning? Oh, okay. Thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet, I've always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la revolution. Let's go. Let's go. I'm curious. So far, no
You
skeptic.
make your way up the short path.
We've only got
to
the
cabin.
narrator. I imagine we'll have the
You'll
hero
find
again,
the
too.
princess within.
Right, Saucy Lunatic?
We're not gonna
It's
go through
really,
with this,
really
right?
well done.
She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Thanks, voice of the hero.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed into the cabin. Is it wood this time?
The interior of the
is.
cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Ah, Travis, that's really nice. I'm really enjoying it so far. For those unawares, which is probably most people because it's not even out yet, The War Below is an upcoming tabletop game by the Onyx Path, I believe. I hope I'm not totally wrong there. I just know it's by you. If I'm completely wrong, then please correct me. Do you have to take the dagger? I don't have to take the dagger. I think that I can go without it, but I am taking the dagger.
The door to the
I
basement
might make
creaks
use of it,
open,
actually.
revealing a
It
staircase
absolutely is. Okay,
faintly
that's what I thought. That's what I
illuminated
thought.
by an unseen light
So
in
I
the
had a moment where I
wall.
realized I haven't seen like the covers.
This
So I'm like,
is
oh
an
gosh, I hope it's gonna have Onyx
impressive
Path on there.
The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Okay, so which font do we have for the princess now?
Who's there?
Oh, the original voice?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi, I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
Hello, Taco. I'm not sure shenanigans are the right word for it. We're trying to slay the princess.
You walk
Maybe,
down the
not
stairs
really.
and lock eyes with the princess.
So we're back to only one
There's a
chain.
heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
Maybe, actually, Ladent. Maybe.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
What? No way. Why'd you even think like that? Yeah, it wasn't a joke. I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk. I kind of want to know what happens if we try it. I'm very curious what happens if we try it. I think it's going to be really
You
nasty.
step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
An extremely valid question.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
The second chain doesn't have a manacle this time, too.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
So what if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us? Are you sure she's not armed? I'm sorry, can we talk? I'm not dropping the blade. Drop the blade, slay the princess. What if she kills
You
us?
go into this expecting to die. You're going to die.
Extremely valid.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
Well, we did meet the skeptic last time. We were hesitant and conversational. I'm gonna try it. Heads up, y'all. Whatever happens is almost certainly going to be a bit alarming. I'm gonna try to slay the princess.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, and you've already lost the battle.
Well, that's not a great start.
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
God, she's a vibe.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you
Well,
die.
it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. The tower. Oh, that's a new chapter too, I think.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin...
Oh, you
is a
missed the first one,
princess.
Beats. The first one
You're
was quite the
here to slay her.
experience.
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So, deja vu. She's gonna kill me again. Okay, no.
Don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess
could be.
shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
We don't seem to have the skeptic this time, though.
What does it matter what he
Oh.
knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
Instead, we have the voice of the broken. That's a new one.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything? I think we've already done that,
Those
but
are
let's
two
see if the broken
very
has some new
different
additions to
questions,
it.
But fine. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version.
I believe this is the fourth time.
You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die.
Welcome on, Knatter. Hope you're doing well today.
What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless. She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Take care, Caffrey. I'm having a really nice day, actually. I've been really excited for this game. It's quite fun to dive into it.
That begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind
Could be
itself?
for now.
Or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
Well, she was still stuck there. Although I guess she had the
Do you
knife,
think the
didn't
people
she?
there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything just as
Oh,
I
I'm
told
excited
you?
for that, Dorktales.
If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she wants. Just because she's capable
I think
of
you will
ending the
find
world
some
doesn't mean
parallel
you're not
vibes on
capable of
occasion.
slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Let's talk
Just be
about this
quick about it.
princess. She lost some round. I can make sure this happened again. All she did last time around was beat me to death. How can someone like that in the world go you from last time around? She's just a princess. Why was she strong enough to beat me to death with her bare hands? Who locked her in the basement? What is this
People
place?
locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special.
Oh.
You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are.
That in no way helps.
Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell.
Welcome, Rings.
nothing
Thank you very much for the
special
raid. And for the raid, message Emma Ledsy. How was your stream? What y'all get up to?
Again.
So it was far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience painfully dying all over again. Dun dun dun. Well, welcome y'all. Heads up, this is a very scary game. Well, psychologically and on occasion in other ways as well. You're stealing my knees. You might need to take them from a princess first. So you're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
All bunny knees. Oh my gosh, that's illegal.
Even if he's hiding something, I doubt it would help us. I'm sure knowing what he knows would only make things worse.
So I wonder if maybe the right approach here is to aim to get all of the voices on our end, right? So we can sort of have a more involved debate. So we got the voice of the broken for attempting to kill her totally unsuccessfully. Can we get the voice of the skeptic again?
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
Probably not, no.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
Bunnies. Oh my gosh. You goobers. You goobers.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
That sounds like an interesting option then. Wow, that's
Great.
all?
Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Turn around and leave. No, let's go to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further.
Press X to submit. Oh, really? Let's get everything that isn't the chain to get a skeptic voice. Maybe. I feel investigating the chain is
she will
sort
do
of
everything in
immediately
her power
terrible.
to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
It still very much looks like a wooden cabin on the outside. We'll see what it looks like
Lying?
inside this time.
Cheating?
Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last time.
She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine.
Oh, can we do a shout out
just
for
keep
Riggs
our
as
wits
well?
about
Riggs is
us.
very sweet and has very recently started streaming. Mostly doing spoopy things.
At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him and not that whiner.
I do like that we are actually excluded from these voices before, because I remember early on we were like, oh, I wish that the first person character wasn't he, him vibes. But they're clearly just also characters sharing the world with us here.
If that's what you want,
The hero is just the
I
first
guess
one.
I don't have a say here.
Poor voice of the broken. Because we could be anyone. Well, or anything. We are some kind of a critter.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more
the mirror
grandiose than its
returns.
humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
I see the mirror again.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Yeah, the knife is harder to get this time.
Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
So you didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable.
Aw,
looking
poor
back at
broken
us.
bean.
We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things
TARDIS
worse.
cabin a little bit, yeah.
For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future. Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal.
No, it's okay for now. I appreciate the scheming and the pondering.
Probably. Do you not know what we look like?
He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
I feel like the hero is sort of the default place in the story, right? Whether I'm being lied to, there's a mirror. I want to look at myself. I want to see how handsome I am. Doesn't matter if there's a mirror.
but it does matter. Don't you care if we're being lied to? If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us? I'm not lying to you.
Oh, there it
Use your
goes.
eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done. But there was a mirror a second ago.
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Let's take the
You
blades.
take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Let's enter the basement. Could be,
The door to the
may
basement
remain before we
creaks
go
open,
down.
revealing a spiral staircase.
Yeah.
Its steps almost
I feel like
as
there are
deep as you
so many
are tall.
options here.
The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
Incense.
This is actually kind of nice.
Well, I think that there are 4 of us because of the first-person perspective character as well as the 3
Still a
voices.
stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I like the narrator trying to argue here.
Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Sing voice this time.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
So, we're lingering on the
You weren't
stairs,
kidding
right?
when You said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time.
Thanks, voice of the hero.
We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Thanks,
Should
Broken.
we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Continue down the stairs.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes
Oh, I
into
guess
view.
because we're now
as
very
you tumble
small.
to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
Oh, no second chain this time. We can't chain ourselves up.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
See if we can resist. Tighten
As
your
if on
grip.
command, the blade slips from your grasp,
Didn't work.
clatters uselessly to the floor.
Someone did certainly have fun recording this.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Much more of a monster. Though the princess, maybe.
Kneel.
Yes. No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs
Oh,
buckle,
goodness.
and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we
Oh
talk?
my, indeed.
The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death?
An extremely valid question.
Speak.
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Okay. I love the defiant options here because so she's saying speak, right? And I can say no, which is still speaking. Or I could just remain actually silent. I kind of love the idea of saying no because I'm expecting her to make fun of me for still speaking.
Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Malicious compliance. Exactly, yes. Hope you're doing well, Fart. Questions, we got skeptic and the princess was inquisitive. This time we got wrecked and now she's a badass. Yeah.
Do it. It's what she wants.
Can I throw it at her, though?
No objections here.
Oh gosh. Leia, some things. The world has restarted, sort of. The game has restarted, and now some things are happening.
I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but you might as well pick up the blade.
I do like that all of them have agreed to pick up the blade, even though it's clearly going to be used against us.
As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
So I can ask questions, but I have no options for any of these questions. And oh my gosh, Andrew. Thank you. Holy butt. Holy cripes. Hang on, let me pull up the donations list here in case there's a message attached. There's not. Thank you so much for supporting medical aid for Palestinians. I really appreciate it. That's very, very sweet of you. Thank you. But alright, it's time to pick up the blades. Bump it up to 350. Understandable. I mean, hey, we're still like well past my goal for this thing, which, to be honest, I again didn't really anticipate reaching. My main goal for doing this charity was to make sure there was at least a little bit of a conversation happening about what is happening. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Panini, I love you. The graded options are great though. So what we can't do is, why? What are you going to make me? What are you going to try and make me do with it? I like the try. It doesn't even matter. I can say I'm going to kill you. I can say you're not kidding about that divine hand. Who's doing this? Is it her? Is it you? I can say no, or the only option I can actually select behind me here. I can pick up the blade.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Could very well be for now.
Stand.
I could see that too. I think Skeptic would give us some advantages here.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad.
What's the ordinary rabbit?
I'm an extremely ordinary rabbit. No, I'm okay, nerdy. Thank you so much for 18 months. That's really amazing. Thank you. And heads up, Kaylee and Nerdy and anyone else who just popped in like Panini. We are playing a horror game today.
Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway. I can say, or I can think, but I can't say, I hate you. I hate you so much, all of you. I can think, stop making me do things. I can think, I'm going to kneel here forever. I can think that I'm covered in slime. Or the only option I can select is stand here. You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce.
Cute nerd. It's true. You can tell it's horror. Look at her feet. Fair enough, nerdy. Speaking of... Oh, hello, Spice Wife. Speaking of, fanboys on demand who love feet, can I get a shout out for Nerdy Nanny? Nerdy's a really chaotic gremlin of YouTubers, my evil clone, someone I really adore. Just like Jay Snipes. Jay Snipes, thank you so much for freaking 26 months. That's really incredible. Thank you, Jay Snipes. It means a lot to me.
Hello bunny, you cutie fluve bunny, cheer bunny, ash bunny, bunny,
Nah,
ash
you're a
bunny.
cutie, Flu. My poor face. Exclamation mark do sounds a little bit different.
The princess eyes you with soft contemplation.
Thanks, Ragos. I appreciate you all, and I hope you're doing well
to last
today.
a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come, dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all
She had such a
silences
vibe
are
this
broken
run.
eventually.
Body autonomy horror is not what you expected from this. Yeah, understandable.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance.
Sounds good.
Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
No thanks. What?
You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
The only option that I have is the words "end this."
Oh, we'll end this all right.
Thanks, Broken.
Your hand lifts the blade and
Oh
brings
gosh.
it towards your throat.
I honestly don't know
I
which
apologize
direction
for
this
the
is going to
unclear
go.
language. End her.
Thanks, narrator. Thanks, narrator. So, no matter which way this goes, this is probably about to be a very alarming scene. So, heads up, y'all. Just be aware and prepared for that. Slay yourself. I cannot resist, or I can slay the princess. I'm gonna try to slay the princess. Let's get her.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Oh, she looks inquisitive now.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry.
Broken, you goober.
Don't! As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease.
Well, my cursor's got blood on it now.
Feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Ooh, great.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
I just want to say that I love her. She's a vibe.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her.
It's what she wants.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it.
Thanks, voice of the hero.
Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs.
Sounds good, Corvus.
The blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece.
Oh,
Just
goodness.
for now.
Well, I'm very glad that this really telegraphs what's happening. Because, gosh, Corvus, I'm very glad you're taking care of yourself and stepping away.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
I suppose why, yeah. Oh, gosh. Slay the princess.
Or
Slay the princess.
pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
You continue to approach the princess.
I'm sorry, Jay Snipes. This is why I was trying to warn everyone that it's a scary game today.
Of the basement.
Oh gosh.
You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
Fair enough, fair enough.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
Oh.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet. your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Oh,
That's
she's
the
cute.
maiden, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her.
Nerdy.
It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever
Some
say
bunnies
he
make
had at the
particularly good
start of all
pets,
this.
but certainly not all of us. Give up whatever say you had at the start of all of
At least
them.
one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the
Leia.
moment before it's too late.
So I can either pledge myself to her, I can attempt to resist, or I can slay the princess. However, I am unable to attempt to resist here. I can only slay your pledge, and I'm going to try to slay. I want to push this as far as it goes here. So heads up, I anticipate we're about to have another very alarming scene. Trans rights. Hello, Kyle. Hope you're doing well today. Gonna grab a sip of water here, too. Slay, queen. Slay. Slay your enemies. Exactly.
No! Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react.
Wait, Jade, have you bottom texted out loud? Did you say the words or something similar? Well played. That's certainly a good effort here. You'd be too timid to slay the bun. Good.
The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you
Oh, I
channel
got
it
the
into
heel.
a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance. She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest.
We also clearly have feathers. See, I thought that we were like a kobold before. We have feathers here. And it looks like the feathers have increased the more we're fighting back here. We thought that I would be too timid. I thought you said you were too timid to slay me if I was an evil villain. We are, but we're typically not little. We were the same size before. Well, we've been called a bird, and I think the voices have been called male, like the voice of the hero. I don't think we've been referred to as specifically other than us or you. Sometimes it's your turn now. Exactly. It's just fair. It's just fair.
Again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh.
Oh, maybe.
We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly.
Thanks, Kaylee.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
After you kind of thing. Kyle, it's because we're both East Coast Canadians. We'd polite each other to death.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You
heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
I'm gonna find out.
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet.
I love the layers that they use on the art here. It's nice. Yeah, definitely an interesting voice slip there.
There's an unsettling wet pop as
Ooh,
your spine
oh gosh.
numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact.
Well, I don't think we reset on day 2. I think we're actually getting to day 3 this time.
You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
These are good questions.
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this. The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine.
All right, hero.
She collapses to the floor.
I just
Her
got the
glassy
achievement
eyes
God
watch,
Killer.
unblinking, yet
Slayer
somehow
better.
Still full of anguish and fear as the two of you perish together.
I have always enjoyed plots about slaying deities.
I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we?
Voice of the himbo.
Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something.
Ooh, deicide.
I guess. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
I don't anticipate it's over. Chapter 3, The Fury. Oh no.
On a path in the woods. And at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that?
Thanks, narrator. The Fury would be a little bit different. I like that Broken is just sobbing.
I think he's upset. And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god.
Hello, Voice of the Stubborn. You're a new one. It is... I think it's personally a great time when the narrator is dumbstruck because I like seeing what happens when things go in unexpected ways for the narrator.
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was and ever will be.
An interesting sentiment.
You're damn right we did. You'll get over it.
We still don't have the skeptic again. We got the stubborn instead.
Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed. Alright, enough chatter. I've got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't really have any chance to question things. It was just welcome to do or die.
Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is
Kaylee.
if your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her. It's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it? Well, this is just great. Let me cut to the chase.
Probably Ashton,
Clearly
yeah.
you've already been here. Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here. This is all different, isn't it?
Lump is so cool now.
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods. If reality seems distorted, it's because reality is distorted.
Okay. Thank you for the blower pad patch. You're right, lump is always cool.
So you knew this could happen. You knew we'd be able to restart like this.
Purgatory was? Maybe. Might be something else, though.
I know all sorts of things, which is why you should listen to me.
That's the key point here, Layden. We killed the princess, and I don't think we saved the world.
That's not really an answer. Look, if the world
Maybe it's
around you
because
has
we
changed,
died
especially
too.
all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. Better
Listening,
take
but
it
you're a
seriously.
brat. Fair enough, fair enough.
Don't worry. We only need this one last go at things.
I'm not terrifically convinced that that is true.
You'd better hope that's true. And don't let that inflated ego get in the way of doing your job.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Poor broken little bottom.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now. You're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop whining.
So, you said yourself that you know more than you're letting on. If you want me to go to the cabin, then you better tell us everything. Or, it feels like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. You better all listen to me when the time comes to make a choice. I think you'd better tell us everything, narrator.
I can't. Anything I say at this point is far
Totally
more
fair,
likely to
Twy.
accelerate the unraveling of this place than it is to actually help you do your job.
That's why I was doing my best to try to warn people that this is actually a scary game today. We'll be doing a chill stream tomorrow with no horror elements. And Thursday as well, and then back to some spooks, but I think lesser spooks on Friday.
In fact, I probably shouldn't have even said that. I trust that if you've been here before, it means you know how dangerous she is, and that you know I'm not lying to you about her. Really? That's it? That's all we're getting out of you?
He just wants to keep things going the way they are. But we've been given a second chance.
Sounds good. Have fun in Cedar
By her.
Regalia.
She can build something better than this. She can build something better than us. We just have to let her do it.
I'm not super convinced it would be better.
I get it. You're conflicted. You've been through a lot, but I really have to be firm here. I will tell you one thing, which is that even now you are capable of stopping her and saving the world from ruin. You always have been, and you always will be. Do with that what you will.
So I can say it feels like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. Or if I don't slay her, if I just stay here and or do anything else and we hit this point of no return, then what happens? No matter what happens next, it seems like our answers are at the cabin. We might as well see this through. I can attempt to turn around and leave. I'm going to proceed to the cabin.
Good. We're all on the same page.
I do like that the cabin is unaltered. An interesting hill, though. I love the trees turning into talons. It's quite nice.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her.
Not the most convinced that's going to work.
That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard. That's fine by me. Let's get moving. I'm itching for a rematch.
Well, and of course the basement is in this hill, right? Like it's not we're not going onto the second floor, we're going down into the hill every time. It's like building a house in the Crimson Terraria. Ooh, right. Yeah, actually, I can see that too. The tower basement did have a sunlit window, yes. That was very confusing. The hill looks a bit like a brain now. It kind of does, yeah.
The interior of the cabin is a place
Oh.
that feels long forgotten. There was once an
Howdy,
elegance to its
Super.
construction.
Howdy,
Carved
Lindsay.
marble columns
I hope you're
holding a
both doing
high
really
arched
well.
roof, vaulted
Please be
windows
aware we are
letting
playing a
in
horror
the
game today.
facade.
A real spoopy one. It is still the tower size, though. We're small still. The mirror, however, is right ahead of us.
But that is how it was. Now there
I'm gonna
is
try
a
to rush
growth
to the
that has
mirror.
overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing
Yeah,
nerves,
unavoidable this time, our own
clumps of
reflection.
living meat.
Clumps of living meat. Love that.
That's horrible.
Yes.
You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
They did mention the mirror last time otherwise. That mirror again, and this time it's blocking the door. I'm supposed to get to the basement. There's no door, there's just a mirror. Approach the mirror.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. Almost as if you don't see it. But you must, because it's right there in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
All we see is a damn mirror. It's a bit grimy. Why don't we wipe it clean? Wipe what clean? The door? The mirror. What are you talking about? You're standing in front of a door. Whatever non-door thing you think you're looking at, it isn't real, because if it were real, I'd know about it.
Uh-huh, narrator.
But it has to be real. It's right there.
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it.
I'm with him on this one. Smash it. Let's get violent already.
Dorks.
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
Oh, we are going to have an unfortunate ad break in a moment here. And oh my gosh, hey, Elvin Fluff, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Thank you for trusting me with your community and popping on in over here. I do want to, the very, very first thing that I want to do here before I even really introduce myself is to warn you all, we are playing a particularly alarming game today. This is a horror game. It's pretty up and down in exactly how terrifying it is, but it certainly has significant ups when it's up. But welcome all of you. I'm Bunny Hearted. I'm a typically cozy trans bunny girl VTuber from the 90s. I do my best to put a warm, welcoming, and inclusive vibes kind of space today. Today's, again, is a bit of an exception. We're playing a horror game today. My pronouns are she and her, or they and them. If you want to set yours, you can do exclamation mark pronouns to do so. Oh, welcome. It's really good to see you. How was your stream? What'd you get up to, Elvin? And all right, can I delay ads? Twitch's ad things. We're obligated to have them, but I can snooze them for a little bit. There we go. There we go. We can get a little bit of a delay here. And hey, Like and Rock, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. So this is Slay the Princess. Slay the Princess, save the world. How hard can it be? Yeah. Played lots of COD. It's all in all a fun stream. Oh, yay. That sounds really nice. So look like you've been in a cage fight. You had a metal door closed in your legs. Oh my gosh, Lindsay, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? And yes, there's a lot of Elder Torah vibes. We're in a tower made out of meat, and we're stuck in a terrifying time loop. Sounds good, Link. Russ, well, I'll be sure to let you know. And also, I guess if you watch the VOD later, I mean, you know how spooky it has gotten. I anticipate it's only going to increase from there, and we almost stabbed ourselves to death last time, so just be aware.
You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement.
The mirror is gone again. The narrator is still here. Dang it.
As if on command, it slowly slides over.
We don't even have the blade though.
Its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals.
Can I go back and get the knife? Oh my gosh, we don't even have the knife. Cripes. We're gonna die.
The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high-vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I do love that the narrator says that every single time.
Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
A bellowing rage. Great. We should get ready for this one. It's going to be an interesting one.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart?
It was not.
Come see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
Can't we talk about this, lady? Can't we talk about this? Maybe. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. And oh hey, also for things, hang on, let me do it actually. I got you covered. I'm gonna do an Elven Fluff shout out, because Elven Fluff is very sweet. And so cute, and so cute.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good.
Ah, thank you.
She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination, and we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
I think you may be right, Fornea.
Whatever she is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
Clearly we are also an abomination. I'm very curious what our arms and hands look like this time before you're turning more into
Doesn't
a bird.
matter what we are. She needs slaying, and we've got the means to do it, so let's
Wait,
get a move on.
Actually, are we a dragon? Do you think we're the dragon and the princess?
If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important.
Could be a phoenix too, yeah, that might explain the restarting. But no real fire. So I've got to continue down the stairs. Get on with it.
You
We
make your
are
way
going to
to
be
the
interrupted by
bottom of the
ads
stairs.
in a couple of minutes here. I'm unable to snooze them any longer. When I'm playing a narrative game like this, I don't proceed the game during ads, so we will be taking a very small break during ads. I might actually run to the washroom and grab some water and stuff too. So if you end up seeing ads, it's a self-care check-in. You won't be missing anything. Yo, oh my gosh, Starnova, that's so exciting. Oh, I'm so stoked for you. It looked like your donathon went really well. I'm proud of you, and it seemed like you were having a ton of fun. Can I also get a shout out for Starnova? Hey, also heads up Starnova and anyone else who just hopped in. Please be aware, this is a terrifying horror game.
The chamber's walls are painted
Okay,
in
she's a
blood,
vibe still
deep,
now.
Sickening red that drips down. in a
BRB,
potted
scheming up a
stream
new
of
outfit.
charred
1 second.
corpses that make up its
Phyrexian
floor.
Bunny, adding it to my
Place
to-do
reeks
list.
of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone.
Okay, actually that might be kind of a vibe. I don't know if I would use that model, but maybe not on stream. Very cool art indeed. Welcome, Nix. It's good to see you. Hey, Big BC. It's good to see you too. You've got auspicious timing, perhaps. You did just walk into something. Yes, that's a big part of why I'm trying to be very, very transparent in warnings. This is a horror stream today. And this game certainly gets a little bit spooky. So, the chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. I also love me some body horror on occasion, but of course, I sort of get spooked by medical trauma. And so far, it hasn't been a very medical setting in this, so it's pretty okay for me.
The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Christ, what a vibe. What a vibe.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
Are you gonna take me out to dinner?
There's not
I
so
think
much
that's a
of
no.
hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh.
Ooh, gosh.
And then, with a nauseating sound,
Oh,
the skin
no.
tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings.
And with that, some folks are about to see ads and would not be able to see what happens next. So I am going to be taking a very small break here while ads run their course. I'm going to grab some water. I'm sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger for a couple of minutes, but we'll come back right to this place. You're not going to miss anything.